Several years ago, I was actually Gypsy Rose's babysitter. Now, my career as being her babysitter didn't last very long, but I always knew something was up. Let me explain. I was very young when I was Gypsy Rose's babysitter. Naturally, I was older than her, but I was still a young guy. So my Craigslist ad might as well said, gullible babysitter for hire. So one day I'm loafing around, hitting my vape, vibing, and then my phone starts to ring, and I answer the phone, hello? And on the other end of the phone was a creepy woman's voice. This voice ended up being the mother of Gypsy Rose, and she said, hey, are you still available to babysit? And I said, yes. Now, as innocent as all that sounds, the devil was definitely in the details. So as we're scheduling this rendezvous, I asked all the questions I felt was appropriate to ask. Where are you located? How old is she? And then this is where it got really weird. After I asked her how old she was, she told me she was 12. Then she was like, no, wait, she's 10, 9. And I was like, what? Now that should have raised the red flags and sent off the spidey senses in my head, but I was young. I didn't know any better. I just thought maybe she had gotten confused. And you can say all you want about her mother, but she was not cheap with me now. She paid me pretty good to babysit her. So I accepted the offer. So I steal my cousin's vehicle and then I walk up to her house. And when I'm at her house, I knock on the door, doo-doo-doo. And then a woman answers, and this woman's eyes looked possessed. But again, she was paying me a lot of money. I mean, who in their right mind would turn down $8.50 an hour? Be for real. So I walk into the house and it reeks of cat urine, and then there's a dead goat pinned to the wall. But I just minded my business. I wasn't there for the goat. I was there for the girl. So she tells me she's going to be back in a few hours. She introduces me to the 9-year-old girl, and she pays me the money and she leaves. Now this part is super crazy. Before her mama had left, she was laid up in the bed sick. As soon as her mama left and shut the door, that girl started getting up and doing cartwheels around the house. I was like, what's really going on here? Your mother had told me this would be an easy job because you can't walk. And she's like, yeah, I'd just be faking it. What? So I'm sitting on the couch in the living room, flipping through the pay-per-view pornography channels, and then I ask the girl, I say, hell, how old are you anyway? She goes, I'm about 15 years old. I said, whoa, 15? She was like, yeah. I was like, your mama told me you were 9. And she was like, yeah, I know she does that a lot. Now, something in the back of my mind was telling me, Drake, run away. But $8.50 an hour, I can't mess this up. So the night progresses, and me and Gypsy Rose end up playing board games, having a great time, watching television, talking, telling ghost stories. And then the time where her mother starts to return begins approaching, and she jumps back in the bed. I'm like, man, why do you gotta do all this when your mama's around? That must really suck. She's like, yeah, but I got something planned for her. So 9:30 rolls around, and then her mother busts back in the home with some truck driving looking, beer stained, wife beater wearing type guy, and they pay me the money and I leave. Now it might have been my Yelp review, or maybe she knew that I knew that something sinister was going on, but she never called me back or hired me again. But shout out Gypsy Rose, I'm glad you're free. Hey everybody, help me get this on her For You page so we can reconnect. And for the record, I don't think that you would deserve to do a second in jail. And remember, the criminal justice system is not broken. This is exactly how they designed it.